Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here in the second part of Season 3 within Season 3 Reloaded, it actually appears that we're going to have sort of a unique content update dropping here in just a couple of days' time, something that we really have never seen within a Reloaded portion of any given season. Usually, the major content updates are the seasonal launch, and then the mid-season updates, and then sometimes in the case of like Plunder dropping or Ranked dropping, we'll see an off week with that, but this appears to be a different style of content update that could potentially be setting things up big time for Season 4. With that being said, I wanted to break down sort of what to expect with this surprise content update, if you want to call it that, and also some other things you might want to keep your eye on as well. Initially starting first with something that ended up dropping earlier on this week. Whenever these are debuting, I always want to cover them because quite frankly, they are cool for what they are, and that is the new Call of Duty Endowment Pack, or the brand new Code Pack that's now available in the store. Now, you guys know I don't really like to promote the store. I personally would not buy things out of the store if you're not super happy with the game, with the exception of the code packs, because these are actually going towards a great cause. All the proceeds, 100% of the net proceeds from these packs go directly to helping place veterans into jobs. So not only are you getting some in-game content, but you are actually helping support the endowment there, which is always very cool. And the newest Call of Duty Endowment Pack is known as the Valkyrie Pack, and this is only available for a limited time, so keep that in mind. But this comes with a handful of new content pieces. Initially, you end up getting the Valkyrie operator skin for Rose. You also get the Sting handgun blueprint, the Winged Warrior assault rifle blueprint, the Eagle Driver light helo vehicle skin, the Brave weapon charm, the Remove Before Flight sticker, the Tornado animated emblem. Then you also get one double XP token and one double weapon XP token as well. So if you're interested in not only getting those items in game but also supporting a solid cause, you'll find the Valkyrie Pack in your store now in the like Call of Duty section outside of the featured bundles. Now, as we shift focus more towards the future here, for what it's worth, as it stands right now, according to the Battle Pass countdown timer, it does look like Season 3 is going to be coming to a close around June 14th. That's at least what it says right now. That is subject to change. We'll have to see if anything updates there in the future. I'll be keeping my eyes on it for sure. That means we still got a handful of weeks left, and currently, according to Call of Duty via the Raven Trello board and then also an Infinity Ward post from earlier on this month, they went ahead and previewed the coming playlist updates for the remainder of Season 3 Reloaded, at least what they wanted to reveal. And curiously enough, they actually only reveal the playlists through the 24th, which is not something we've ever seen really restricted when they actually preview these playlists. For what it's worth, they haven't been doing these like half season long playlist previews this year up until now. Hopefully that changes in the future. But in the past, whenever we'd see these, especially back during Warzone 1, it was, every single week that we had remaining in that half of the season, whether it was leading up to the Reloaded update or towards the end of an actual season. But this time around, they stop at the 24th for some reason, leaving some big question marks for the 31st and then also the 7th. But it actually lines up kind of conveniently with some other news that we have in regards to this surprise update happening on the 31st, where it does appear we are seeing a new content update. And this is actually something we've talked about a bit before, but as you guys may or may not know by now, Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman are getting their own official operator skins this season on the 31st, which is kind of a strange release date for these because usually we don't see this many operators drop in one season. We obviously had Valeria and Alejandro drop. We saw Alex drop as a part of the raid. We just saw Kevin Durant drop, and now we've got Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman dropping. So operator overload this season for sure, but the 31st is a very convenient date. Now, of course, every one of these operator bundles for Nick and for Tim are going to include pretty standard stuff. Each one comes with an operator skin for each of them. They also have their own weapon blueprints as well. Tim's especially, I won't lie, look really cool because the weapon blueprints are like tattoos, but if you throw on a mastery camo, it's just the tattoos that change colors. So I won't lie, that's pretty cool. But that being said, the operator images here are what's important, coinciding with the fact that yes, we do actually have a content update dropping on the 31st featuring these skins, but the background of their operator images actually tells us a lot. And we've talked about this, briefly before as well. In the background of Tim's operator skin specifically, you can see Tim is very clearly in Al Mazrah City, which currently is starting to have a sandstorm encompass it. And in the initial patch notes for Season 3, they mentioned in the map update section, a sandstorm spotted on the outskirts of Al Mazrah is headed towards Al Mazrah City, so expect reduced visibility in the area. And already we know in game, if you're in and around Al Mazrah City, you can see that sandstorm picking up. Quite frankly, it's obnoxious to fighting because it does really limit visibility. Outside of like 50, 60, 70 meters, you can't really see anything. But it's important to note the wording there. They say a sandstorm has been spotted heading towards Al Mazrah City. So it is actually coming in. And then in these operator images, we can see Tim standing in Al Mazrah City. The gas station is completely covered by sand and it's all wrecked and destroyed because of this presumed sandstorm that's dropping here. So if we're seeing these operators drop on the 31st as a part of that content update, it would appear that that's not the only content dropping given the previews that are shown in these operator images. That would mean that by the time that these operators are available, the background there will have changed as well, with Al Mazrah City being overtaken by that sandstorm. So presumably we can expect to see that roll in, and perhaps that's why they're hiding these playlist updates, because things are going to be a bit different for Al Mazrah. Also, for what it's worth, on the operator preview image for Nick Merckx, he's at Observatory, and in the background there, it's also very dusty and very sandy in the background. That could very easily just be like a previous explosion and the smoke from that for visual effect to make it look all dramatic. Or maybe this sandstorm is gonna like kind of move through the map and adjust various different points of interest and destroy them or cover them up, so visibility is gonna be very rough. Personally, I won't lie, I'm hoping that maybe that's not the case, because the visibility is already very annoying. If that's going to happen all across the map, it could lead to some very awkward gunfights, but we'll have to wait and see there. But as of right now, according to this sort of hidden content update that we don't really know what's going on with it because the lack of playlist previews, we know we've got 2 new operators dropping and presumably a major map update happening for Al Mazrah as well. However, that's still not all we could expect with this upcoming content update, and rather than something dropping right alongside with this next portion actually details what could be getting previewed in these final few weeks of Season 3 Reloaded, and that is the next major map for Warzone 2. As we've talked about a bit before, we now know that the next Resurgence map is codenamed Vondel, and it supposedly takes place in the Netherlands. Most recently with Season 3 Reloaded, there was actually some updated game files that previewed a very, very early in development build of the Vondel map, and with this, we've been hearing for some time now that it's going to be dropping in Season 4. And recently, Charlie Intel and Dexterdo ended up doing an interview sit down with some of the Call of Duty developers. And in this interview, they actually revealed that the devs teased that there is a new map coming in a future season that is a direct test for Call of Duty's future. And what's the biggest map dropping in a new season here? Well, it's probably going to be Vondel, our next Resurgence map, and it's going to be some map that is going to be testing something for the future that we're not really sure of. If this is going to be incorporated into multiplayer or just Warzone or Warzone and DMZ, we're going to have to wait and see. But since all these, surprise content updates with Tim and with Nick and with potential map changes here are all coming in the final few weeks of Season 3, that's also right around the time where we start to see new teases and reveals for the next seasonal update. And with presumably this Vondel Resurgence map dropping in Season 4, that would be prime time to actually drop some teasers for this, and maybe that sandstorm is going to have something to do with that, because we're going to be shifting focus to maybe a new map for a bit, and then Al Mazrah gets cleaned up and we're back on that. Again, just going to simply have to see what time does for us. Time will tell what exactly is going on here, but it seems like these final few weeks of mystery in Season 3 Reloaded are going to be packed full of surprises. Obviously, as stuff starts to drop, as we get new reveals or any information on what's to come, you guys know I'm gonna have you covered here, so stick it here for that alongside everything else going on in COD. Make sure you are subscribed with those noties turned on, and if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well, would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.